Hello, welcome pen friends. It's been quite a while that I've been wanting to do kind of a chatty video and just an update and just talk about some of the pen subjects that I'm wanting to talk about and, share with pen friends. And I guess I'd be doing this if I was going to a pen meeting anywhere. So we can be a meeting, I guess. We can do that right here. But I have written down 4 bullet points. So I wanted to talk first off about the Inkvent, and I'll update you on that. And then I wanted to talk about my top pen brand and ink brand of 2021, because here we are just a week away from the end of the year. And it's been quite a year in pens and inks. And then the third topic I want to talk about is bullet journaling, because I'm up to something in that area and I wanted to tell you about it, and you'll be hearing about it as time goes along too. And also a book I'm reading that kind of relates into that, but that's still on topic 3. And then toward the end there, I just want to show you some of the new pens that I've acquired mostly through my birthday and gift card and pen friends sending, and then I purchased a couple of these. So actually I see one that's missing. I'm gonna have to make sure I find that one. Oh dear, I think I'm gonna find that right now. Okay, that pen was just hiding just out of my sight and I didn't want to forget that one then. Anyway, so it's just 4 topics, but you know how I ramble, so if that's not your thing, I totally understand. And I did just put up a under 10-minute video about my new journal tote, so that's up too. But I told myself if I can do the concise one that actually is a leaning toward a review and might be of some help, then I'm allowed to do the chatty one. So first of all, I did update in my community tab about what I ended up doing for the Inkvent. I think everybody knows by now that I sort of had what I initially was calling a failure on that. I went through, I'm not sure, maybe day 7 or 8, and I quickly realized that I wasn't going to be able to continue enjoying doing the inks every day because of what else I needed to get done and the level in which I like to dive deep with each ink. It's not that I can't just keep it reasonable, but I won't. So anyway, I decided, it's okay, and in January I'll continue the exploration. I did manage to get out the day 1 through 5, and then I've got a couple more days in my ink journal that I continued, but then things started getting really busy. So it was just a case of me not really considering that fully. And I can just give myself a lot of understanding in that, because the excitement of being able to get the Inkvent just kind of overtook. But anyway, I've got them all in the little ink vials. So I have this set of 25 in the shell box. And what I've done is I went ahead and did several days ago, I completed all of the tiles. And those of you that don't know, I'm talking about the little ink tile with the color swatch and the water resistance test. I did all those, and then I scanned them over to Matt at inkswatch.com. And then I also mailed them, because the color correction is important and it's something that takes longer, but seeing it, having the tile in person to work with is going to help him. So he mentioned that sometime after Christmas he'll be able to start working on those, and being a teacher and having a little bit more flexibility this time of year. But it's going to be exciting because I myself really want to be able to do the drop downs and the comparisons. And so I felt like, wow, that's good, Chris. At least, you got that done. And then I've got it kind of to look forward to the rest of those inks, because they're beautiful. And as I was doing the tiles, I was like, oh, okay, but there was just so many little and big things that needed to get done. So anyway, I've been over that. So I think that I'm going to let that subject rest, and we'll be coming back to that later. But the one thing that I really got to thinking about over the past week especially is how a pen brand and an ink brand ended up being the highlight of my year. So I know those of you that follow me all the time are going to probably know what I'm going to say, but this ended up being the year of the Opus 88 for me. And this is not the first pen, the Opus 88 that I got, but the Omars ended up being the ones that stole the show for me. And yet I love equally the others that I have in the collection. And it turns out I now have 8. So going into 2021, I had 1. I had the Pen Friend gift of the red Coloro in, let's see, I think it had a medium nib, and then I do all kinds of nib changes, so that's that's the way I am. And then I got a couple of the demonstrators. I got this one and the Stylo and Style green one. And then I ended up with a total of 3 Omars. And now I've added a couple more, but we'll come back to that because I want to do the new pens at the end. So it was, as usual, I continued to love and enjoy my TWSBI Ecos, which I write with in my journals all the time, like daily. But at the same time, I was having this really interesting experience with these Opus 88s, which they're all eyedropper pens with huge ink capacities. That's the first thing. But then the ease of being able to change these nibs is what really got to me. And I know I'm hearing from people that I've either pen-abled or influenced, or whatever you want to call it, as several people into trying these. But I just love it because the nib units screw in and out, and you can just quickly and easily change your nib experience. So it's quite an outfit once you get the large. These take the larger size nibs, and then the smaller pen that I just showed you, the Coloro, that takes the smaller one. Now I have like a medium broad and stub nib in each size. That makes such versatility, and it's easy. It's not like I have to risk ruining a feed or anything. So anyway, it's just been, you know, so much fun to explore those pens. It's kind of been sort of a side hobby within the hobby. And then kind of toward the end of the year, I finally got it through my thick skull to go ahead and try the Pilot Iroshizuku inks with my Pilot Vanishing Point. And what I ended up doing, I went on a little scavenger hunt and ended up realizing that I had 17 little samples of the Pilot Iroshizuku inks scattered within the color families that I have in my boxes. And when I say boxes, I mean these little shell boxes. So I put them all together and I started inking up pens. I started, you know, realizing that that no wonder these inks get such a good reputation, because they're just amazing. And I kind of knew that. I had tried at least one ink flight full of them. And but you know, we go at the speed of light, and that's how I kind of felt when I started with the Inkvent. I thought, you know, this is just too fast for me. These inks are really neat, and I want to slow down. But anyway, now I've got, well, back behind me there, I've got a little set of 3 of this size, and then this is that pink one. The let me put it close enough so maybe you can see it. Woo, okay. I can't pronounce them very well. TSUTSUJI. Anyway, it's a beautiful pink, and they have all kinds of colors, but it's the flow and I don't know. There's something about this ink that it's no wonder people have been trying to get me to put it more on my radar and to use it more, and I definitely will be and have been ever since then. So it turns out that you know, having the Opus 88s and the Pilot Iroshizuku inks to really kind of sub-focus on has been so much fun. And for what that's worth, or for what that may inspire you, I just wanted to mention it. So, gee, I didn't mean to rush through that, but those are kind of my thoughts. That's what I'm going to think of when I think of 2021 in terms of the hobby. And no telling what 2022 is going to bring, except that I really think it's going to be a year of integration and trying and testing and using what I have. That is really going to be important, because there just seems like there's just so much already here. And that's what I found out when I started pulling out those inks. And realizing 17 samples in the same, of the same ink manufacturer. That's really neat. Okay, so, and you'll be hearing more about this in 2022 because it's got my attention. And it looks like we're going to have a little visitor. Coco visited on the last video too. So, okay, the third point that I wanted to talk about was one of my favorite subjects, which is bullet journaling. And what it is that this year I'm going to try a different notebook, but I'm not, the apple's not falling too far from the tree. I'm going to be trying the Leuchtturm 1917 with the 120 gram paper. So I'm excited about it. I've got the notebook, I've got my sticker on it, I've got a rickshaw sticker, and the light is kind of distorting things. It's pitch dark outside, so, but it's kind of a maroon looking. Let's see if do they color name this? Port red. Okay, that'll help because I'm not sure. To me, I'm seeing it as sort of maroon colored, but it has got, let's see, 203 pages. Coco, whoops. Okay, he kind of knows that if he's going to visit, he needs to chill, but we'll see how it goes. He's back behind me there. So 203 pages, acid-free, 2 bookmarks, table of contents. It's got everything that the other one had. It's just got thicker paper. It's the dot grid, and I've already counted the dots. It's exactly the same as the other one. So all of my different page formats can stay the same. But I think I'll be able to really use a lot more of my broad nibs in this. I'm sure I will. And it's going to be exciting. So the first thing that I did, hello, Coco. Hi. Hi. I don't mind if you can behave. It's wonderful. The very first thing I did was something I didn't do for 2021. I did go ahead and make a future log because I thought I could go without it for 2021, and I almost missed the Guardian report deadline in October. It was hairy scary. All of a sudden, like a bolt of lightning, I realized, like the day before my self-imposed deadline to have it done, I realized I haven't even started on it. So never again. I'm going to make sure I have, and this is real simple. It's just a square for each month, and I guess there's 5 little boxes, so that should cover birthdays and major things like that, like deadlines. Whoops. I would imagine he's feeling just a little bit needy because it's been a busy week. We don't leave the house as much as we used to, but this week we've made some deliveries. We've been not in the stores, but we've been visiting family prior to Christmas, and he, I think, is ready for the days that are coming where we'll be home every day. But oh my goodness, I don't know. He's got his eye on the crab pen holder back there, so I'll have to be real careful. But anyway, that's about as far as I've gotten. I did put my Virgin of Guadalupe in the front because I always like to have her there, and then I'm just ready to begin, but I don't really begin until it's time so I'll start January 1st. I keep everything really simple anyway. My monthly spread is really simple, but it gives me a place to log in like a 1-sentence journal, and it gives me a place to log in any appointments or things I know, and then a little column for to do, so it's really, really good. And just for anybody who hasn't started bullet journaling, or if you're interested, I really recommend the book by Ryder Carroll. He talks about his experience and how and why he started doing bullet journaling, and he is the creator of it, and it's just amazing. And that leads right into why it's so useful and helpful for me, just magnifies the use for me is the way that my brain works, which is basically I have attention deficit disorder, and it's a real impact on how things go and how things get done. And so keeping the bullet journal, which gosh, I started in 2016, and I've got a line of them. I'm not sure how many. Some years it's taken more than one, but this past year it was exactly the book held the whole year, and I do not think that's going to happen this year because there are fewer pages in this nicer paper one. But that's okay. That, you know, I never start a new one till I'm completely finished with the one that I'm in. So I just can't bear to waste that paper. But the book that I'm reading that's really, really getting through to me and helping me is called Scattered Minds by Gabor Mate. And this book is really, really good. It's really helping me, and I'm just finally getting to the part where it's the practical application, but it was worth it to read it chronologically, even though it's really hard for me to do that, because he's got that experience with it himself, having this, let's see what he says. He tries to make sure that we don't refer to it as a disease or anyway, the wording is it slips me, and I probably am going to say it wrong, but in other words, it's just a different neuro, you know, the way the brain works. And so it's good for me to learn, because I really want to be able to do the things I want to do and stay on task enough to do that. So that is bullet journal, I think. And there'd be a lot more on that, because I'm just super excited about how is this going to compare? How is the paper really going to work? You know, there are advantages to the thinner paper too. I know that. And so I was a little bit leery. But what happened was back in, I think it was late fall, Manuel saw me just kind of deliberating in Barnes & Noble over whether to purchase this, and he just grabbed it and got it with the book he was getting. He said, come on, we're getting it. And because I just wasn't too sure, I had an extra of the regular one ahead, so I didn't need it, but I had been thinking about how nice it would be to be able to use all my fountain pens in it. And most of my medium nibs I can use, but some of the inks bleed through, and I'm really hopeful that this thicker paper is really going to solve that. And if it does, I'll just stay right in that type. I saw a black one in there when I went back in to get a present in there in Barnes & Noble. So, okay, so now I think we've arrived at the fourth thing I wanted to talk about, which was the pens, the new pens that have come into my world here. Not sure where to start. I already did a little early impressions video on the little one from the Italian pen, so I'll leave that one out. That's a little pocket pen that he's practically sitting on, so I don't want to disturb him. But then they're not really going to be in order. But then for my birthday, I got the green TWSBI Eco, and that I've really wanted, because now I have the purple, red, and green, and a blue one in this translucent, so I'm excited about that. This has a medium nib. And then I got a birthday gift card, very unexpectedly, for Goulet pens from a loved one, and I got to get the TWSBI Eco in jade, and it's not going to come through. The color is not going to look quite right here because of my nighttime lighting, but all that Goulet pens had left was a broad nib. Well, I love broad nibs, so I thought, you know, that'll be just right anyway for that colorway for me, and I love a broad nib, and it looks nice and broad. I haven't inked it up yet, and I'm about dying to, so. Okay, you being good, Coco? Uh-oh, he's right behind the chair. I can feel him, like, working with it. So those two, and then my pen friend MB sent the Opus 88 Halo with purple, and it's got a medium nib, and I've got that inked up with Mont Blanc Psychedelic Purple, and I'm pretty much tempted to change the nib to the broad nib, because that's what I want to see in writing letters, and I'm really behind on my pen pal letters. I shouldn't say behind. I've been writing, but they've been coming in, you know, cards and letters have been coming in, so I've got quite a reply pile. Coco, you be good back there. So I can't wait to get, you know, the really quality time to do first impressions on this one too. And then let's see, I think I already showed you this, but the Opus 88 the mini in the checkered with a broad nib, and I had what did I put in this? Pure Pen's Lambert Slate in this. And I cleaned it out, and because I realized I didn't clean the pen before I inked it. That wasn't very bright. And now I'm going to try another ink. It was going okay, but I thought, I don't know what I thought. I thought I should have cleaned it first, mainly. So now I've done that. My goodness, it feels like when you're on an airplane and somebody's playing behind you with their tray and their seat and they're kicking the seat. That's what it feels like as I'm taping this. But as long as he's not knocking down the little ink bottles, I'm really happy. Okay, and then with that same gift card to Goulet, I did get the Lamy Safari in pink. I wanted one that wasn't the All-Star in that color. My goodness. Oh no, that's the set. Please don't eat the set, Coco. I really don't want to have to replace that paper. Oh dear. We're losing it. I don't think he's going to be able to wait much longer for me to either read or go watch a Western movie or something. The things that he knows and likes to be right there with me, but we'll do our best to finish out. Okay, I'm actually starting to lose my train of thought anyway, but then another one that came through from a pen friend is the Platinum Prefonte in the red in a medium. I have a green one, and I'm not sure if that one might be a fine or a medium. I'm not sure, but it's beautiful. It's just pretty. I'm just, yeah. And I'm sitting here feeling like I'm leaving something out. I'm actually still exploring another one that I've already talked about, which is the Sailor LeCool. And I'm trying to think of where to go with next on the ink for this one. I did try a Pilot Iroshizuku ink. The nib is just so fine, and I'm not sure whether to go to a darker ink, so that also helps, because certainly the Pilot Iroshizuku ink is flowing really well, but it's just such a fine, medium fine nib. And right about that same time, I purchased either with pen allowance or with channel funds a Sailor Compass. So it seems like I've got my entire year mapped out already. So I've got the purple Compass in the fine medium to try out too. So I'm not going to let it be overwhelming. I'm just going to take it and enjoy every bit of it. But I just thought I would go over some of these because it is exciting, and it looks like the direction has already started to kind of mold. But I also wanted to say that my main goal for 2022 is going to be to get a Lamy 2000. I love Lamy pens. I know from all the people that I admire and trust that it would be a really, really nice pen to add to my collection, so I need to save up for that. And so that's kind of neat. That's kind of a new thing for me, and it'll be fun to do. So I think that's pretty much everything, except just, again, kind of reiterating that half of my mind has been on, I really want to do this and my hobby, but I've also really wanted to get things, to do things with Manuel and to get things done and spend time together and not be kind of half over here doing this. So tomorrow's Christmas Eve day, and then Christmas, and things will start to, the schedule just, I know the feeling how it just starts to open up completely, and I get that work at home time again to do all the fun stuff, and doing the fun stuff is the fun part, and then just getting organized and being ready to be concise. That has been a little bit elusive, and therefore doubling down on my bullet journaling and my getting some strategies to improve how I go about things. But I hope you're having a wonderful December, the rest of it. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas and whatever holidays that you do celebrate. I hope they're joyful, and that you have lots of good things to concentrate on. And there's a lot going on, but I think this hobby is the biggest blessing I could ever dream of. And it just, I'm looking forward to having more time. Yeah, more pen desk time. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that they're even more clamoring to get to their pen desks than me, because I have that freedom in my schedule, but it's just been a matter of focus and where I needed to be putting most of my efforts. So I will let you go for now, but I hope this was either inspiring or or in some way kind of helps you know what's coming next and what I'll be sharing, because I really love too to talk about notebooks. And the unicorn notebook that I showed in the other video, that's going to be a nice one to compare with another one of the Peter Popper notebooks, because that's the same company, but the paper's different. And then we have that again with the Leuchtturm. This is a totally different paper, and it's all new to me. But I've written already in 5 or 6 of their other ones, so I'm a lot more familiar with the other kind of paper. So that's it. I need to go now because Coco is probably already over there. He knows how to turn on the TV, so we have to try to hide the remote, because we came home today from my sister-in-law's house and Manuel said, "You left the TV on?" And I said, "No, if you left the remote on the couch, it'll be turned on," and he usually goes right to YouTube. So he's got good taste, I'll give him that much. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.